A new series from Diane Wehrle where she provides retail and destination insights under her new company, Rendle Intelligence and Insights. Good morning, Di. How are you?
I'm very well, Katie. Good morning to you too.
Good morning. Well, to kick things off, what better time of the year than with the festive season fast upon us? Di, if you were to surmise in one sentence what you think the festive trading period is going to be like, what would that be?
Well, it's always massively important, and we know it's a hugely important barometer for the performance of UK retail and retail destinations. But this year, I think if I had to choose one or two words, maybe it's going to be Super Saturday. It's going to be more significant than it was last year because we're comparing a normal festive period this year for the first time with a normal festive period last year. And this is the first time we've been able to do that since COVID. But we've also got this added bonus of Super Saturday right in the bang up on target next to Christmas Day, which is fantastic.
Fantastic. But before we get too excited about Super Saturday, which we'll come to in a moment, we've got Black Friday coming at us like a fast train. What can we expect from Black Friday, Di?
Well, I mean, whether we love or whether we hate Black Friday, it is here to stay. And the financial constraints faced by many consumers at the moment will undoubtedly act as an incentive for them to make greater use of it. And also Cyber Monday and all the discounts that involves to spread out their gift buying over 2 months and 2 paydays rather than loading it all into December. At the same time, consumers are going to be cautious because they're paying more. Inflation's stuck stubbornly at over 6%. So it's a fact of life that present buying is going to be more costly this year than it was last. So for stores and retailers, it could be a really positive impact because the fact that consumers are pinched on spending makes them more likely to want to touch and feel those products rather than just simply adopt a very laissez-faire approach and buy it online. So they could well head to the stores rather than sit at home on the sofa buying on the internet.
And looking out of my window right now, we're in early December and it is apocalyptically raining out there. What do you think the kind of weather and the external factors you just talked about in terms of the economy are going to do to footfall and sales this month in November?
Well, you're right, Katie. Rain is not a friend to retail stores. None of us like going out in the rain. We know that. And it does impact footfall. We've seen that time and time again. But as I said, people will want to head to stores and they may well be heading to shopping centres and covered environments and also retail parks because they're easy to get to rather than high streets. But I am forecasting that footfall is going to be slightly lower in November this year than it was last year, about 0.9% lower. But actually, because of inflation, spending will actually be higher than last year, about 3 to 4% higher. And that's because of the inflationary impact.
And what can we expect from footfall in December?
Well, beyond November and Black Friday and Cyber Monday, spending is going to really ramp up. We know this. It happens every year. And that last minute present buying is going to take hold. Understanding the performance of stores and retail destinations this year versus last year is going to be slightly more complex because in the run up to Christmas last year, we were dealing with postal strikes. And in the last 2 weeks, multiple days of rail strikes. So that really distorted where people were going to buy presents. The postal strikes undoubtedly supported physical retail because people didn't trust post, so they tended to veer away from online because they didn't want their presents clearly to be late. So that potentially could mean a weaker annual uplift this year. But at the same time, that's counterbalanced by the adverse impact on physical retail last year, particularly in high streets of the rail strikes. So people veered away from high streets. Obviously, a proportion went to shopping centres and retail parks. So that they could counterbalance each other. So I'm forecasting that footfall will be 5.1% higher in December than November. But also spending will be 3% higher in value terms, primarily due to inflation. But volume sales, so that's a number of products we buy, will be lower than last year because people are simply pinched on household budgets. And footfall will also remain lower than in December 2022 by about 1.9%.
Thank you, Di. And there is a halo of optimism around the corner, isn't there? Because Christmas Day this year is on a Monday. For our viewers out there who don't understand why this is so exciting, tell us, Di.
Well, you know, for years and years and years, the media, and we've all talked about Super Saturday, and Super Saturday's the moniker of Super Saturday's been used, even though that Saturday may be 4 or 5 days out from Christmas Day itself. This year, it's right on target. The peak trading day of that entire Christmas period is the 23rd of December. And this year, that's a Saturday. So we are likely to see a huge trading day on that day, which is fantastic. It's a full trading week, which is perfect for retailers. And it means that the last day of full trading week, the 23rd, is a Super Saturday. So we're expecting that footfall and sales will be around about at least 15% higher on that day than on the same day in the previous week.
But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, is it, Di? What could dampen footfall and sales this Christmas?
Well, you know, we know all of the general economic challenges that the majority of households are facing: higher interest rates, high inflation still on a large number of products, and that's pulling back the amount of money they have as a household to spend. We know that footfall in October this year was 1.3% lower than October 2022. That was published by MRI Software. And that's the start of, you know, what we all regard as that golden quarter. So it's not a great start. It really does reflect, you know, the challenges. I mean, yes, we had some adverse weather, of course we did, and we're likely to get more of that in the next few weeks. The ONS sales results are due to be published on the 22nd of November, and they tend to reflect footfall largely, because as we know, 75% of all spending is in store. So once we know what happens with footfall, we can generally get a good take on what's going to happen with spend. So we're expecting that sales volumes in October will have been at least 1% lower than in September.
Thank you, Di. Well, that brings to a close Diane's initial Christmas forecast. There will be another one coming out week commencing the 4th of December, which will include post-Christmas trading, so Boxing Day, New Year's, etc. So keep an eye out for that. But for some of our listeners who might not be aware of Diane's recent move from MRI Software to launching her own business, Rendle Intelligence and Insights, Diane, do you want to give us a little bit of an overview?
Yes, I will, Katie. Thanks. So as many people probably know, I was one of the co-founders of Springboard. We built the business from 2002 to 2022 when it was acquired by MRI Software. Last month, I left that business and I've created and started my new business, Rendle Intelligence and Insights, really with a focus on converting and creating insights out of all this huge amount of data that we have available to us in order to drive business and store performance and destination performance, which is really exciting. And it's really the area of my expertise and my area of interest. So watch out for more intelligence and insights coming forward.
Absolutely. And that company will be launching in early 2024. But in the meantime, if you're looking for your data to be analysed, or you're a journalist looking for media and insights commentary on retail, footfall, sales and destination performance, get in touch. The details are about to pop up on the screen, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much.